Stomach trouble? Understanding stomach ulcers. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the world of stomach ulcers. We'll explore the different types of ulcers, what causes them, and what foods you should avoid to find relief. Let's break down the science behind ulcers in a way that's easy to understand and gives you practical tips to feel better. Gastric or duodenal, the two types of stomach ulcers. First things first, let's talk about the different types of ulcers you can get. The most common types are gastric ulcers and duodenal ulcers. Gastric ulcers happen in your stomach lining. Duodenal ulcers develop in the duodenum, the first part of your small intestine. They're both ulcers, but their location makes a difference in how they feel and how we treat them. The important thing is to understand that ulcers aren't just some random stomachache. The usual suspects. What causes stomach ulcers? One of the most common culprits is a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori, or H. pylori. Another common cause is the use of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. While they're great for pain relief, they can also irritate the stomach lining, especially with prolonged use. And let's not forget about stress. It can actually contribute to ulcers too. Hold the orange juice, citrus fruits, and ulcers. Citrus fruits are highly acidic. That same acidity can irritate your already sensitive stomach lining and make your ulcer pain flare up. It's like pouring lemon juice on a cut ouch. So as much as you might love your morning orange juice, it's best to avoid it or at least limit your intake until your ulcer is gone. Next on our list of foods to avoid is spicy food. Spicy foods contain compounds that can irritate your stomach lining. Imagine adding hot sauce to an open wound. Not a pleasant thought, right? So, as tempting as that curry or chili might be, it's best to avoid it until your ulcer has healed. I know this one hurts. Coffee is a stimulant, and it increases the production of stomach acid. Too much stomach acid is bad news for ulcers. Try limiting your intake, especially during the healing process. You can also opt for milder blends or switch to tea, which is generally gentler on the stomach. Let's be real, alcohol is not your friend, especially when it comes to ulcers. Alcohol is a known irritant, and it can directly damage the protective lining of your stomach. This can not only make existing ulcers worse, but also increase your risk of developing new ones. So if you're dealing with an ulcer, it's best to avoid alcohol altogether until it's fully healed. Chapter 7. Chocolate, a treat that can bite back. Chocolate contains a compound called theobromine, which can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, or LES. When the LES relaxes, it can lead to acid reflux, which can irritate your esophagus and worsen ulcer symptoms. Opt for darker chocolate with a higher cacao content, as it generally contains less sugar and fat. Moderation is key. Chapter 8. The fizz effect. Why carbonated drinks are bad for ulcers. Carbonated drinks release gas, which can lead to bloating. And when you have an ulcer, the last thing you need is extra pressure and discomfort in your stomach. So, if you're trying to heal an ulcer, it's best to ditch the fizz and stick to water, herbal teas, or other non-carbonated beverages. Chapter 9. Fried food frenzy, why it's a no-go for ulcers. Fried foods are notoriously difficult to digest. They're high in fat, which slows down the digestive process and puts extra strain on your stomach. So as much as you might crave those greasy treats, it's best to steer clear while your ulcer is healing. Tomatoes, they're juicy, they're versatile, they're the base of countless delicious dishes. But if you have an ulcer, you might want to limit your intake. Tomatoes are naturally acidic, and that acidity can irritate your stomach lining and make your symptoms worse. Try to limit your intake and see how your body reacts. Let's talk about those convenient pre-packaged processed foods. They're often loaded with ingredients that can wreak havoc on your stomach, especially if you have an ulcer. These ingredients can irritate your stomach lining, increase inflammation, and make it harder for your ulcer to heal. So do your stomach a favor and stick to whole, unprocessed foods as much as possible. Red meat, while a good source of protein, can be a bit rough on the digestive system, especially for those with ulcers. Red meat is tougher and takes longer to digest compared to other protein sources like chicken or fish. This prolonged digestion can put extra strain on your stomach, increasing acid production and potentially irritating your ulcer. Opt for leaner cuts, cook it thoroughly, and chew it well to aid digestion. That's it for our deep dive into the world of stomach ulcers. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the different types of ulcers to the common causes and of course, the foods that can make your symptoms worse. Remember, if you're experiencing persistent stomach pain, it's crucial to see a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and treatment. Self-treating can be risky, and you don't want to mess around with your health. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more health tips and information.